Hi everyone, it's Burak from Trading Channels, and this is a weekend video free for everyone. It's the 27th of May. So as usual, we start with the ES continuous chart right here. The purple giant bull flag that started by last year's January, as you can see. Quite a lot of touches on the top band, and then we broke it to the upside, came back for two back tests, and it rallied higher. What happens here is very important. I mean, unless it breaks back in, I'm expecting more upside. NASDAQ already did it. Dow Jones is going to do it, and it's probably, I'm going to talk about it in a minute. And they're all kind of struggling. It's not really a very clear, very strong breakout by ES. NASDAQ is very strong, but Dow Jones, Russell, they're all struggling. But at some point, there is a level, which I'll talk about. They will all get cleared, and there will be very little overhead resistance after that. So at the moment, to me, this looks like a really good move to the upside, especially what happened yesterday, Friday. So I'm going to now zoom in. So this blue channel was broken right there, quite a few touches, and it was broken to the downside. And I was like, okay, maybe it wants to come below that green support one more time. That green resistance was broken, and it came down for a back test while breaking that blue channel. But it then back tested it quite a few times, and on Friday it smashed back into the blue. But more importantly, this golden bear flag was broken to the upside. This is as bullish as it gets. When it cleared that golden top band, as you can see here, if we put it on the 1 hourly, you'll see it a bit even more clearer. You can see it broke it to the upside, and now the green resistance is also broken. It held for a while, but at the open it was already making new highs. So even that green resistance wasn't enough to hold it off. So to me, it is looking extremely bullish. On the SPX cash is the same story. That golden channel that was holding for a long time, it was broken, back tested 3 times. You can see here. This is January 2022. It came down inside a big bull flag, and the bull flag is now broken. So to me, once a bull flag breaks, I think it's going to get to new highs. As simple as that. 4,750 is the ultimate target, and possibly more. It's the price action that matters, and the price action is telling me that we're going to go up. At the moment, what the next figure is that green top band. So the green bottom band is here. The green internals have been holding. You can see here, right there. So the green top band is at 4,300 plus, maybe 320 or 30. So that green resistance, as you can see, that internal green resistance is getting tested at the close of Friday. And you can see it is probably going to break this level and keep on rallying. Maybe it will get to 250 and then come back for a back test, and after that back test I expect 4,325, possibly this next week. So that purple resistance obviously was perfectly back tested before it runs. So it's all technical, it all is looking very bullish. Dow Jones is a very critical story as well, so I'm going to put it on the more longer term chart. So I'm going to talk about the larger bull flag that was formed from January high. 2 touches at the top. First, this is the second touch in October last year, and I said if this one holds, we're going to see a big rally to break out and rally further. But it didn't happen that way. It broke out of the bull flag, this giant bull flag, then it stalled, came back for a back test, rallied, came back for another back test, and then we broke out of this bull flag, this little, it's not so little, it's quite a few months compared to the very large bull flag. This is little. and it was broken, and you can see it was back tested so many times, which like the last one was this week. It is a sloppy back test, I must admit, but the blue support rail I think is holding. We are out of that red downtrend, yeah, this little short-term downtrend that formed this week. Yeah, it was broken, and once it broke out, it started a rally, and I shared this within the group. When it broke out, it started a rally. The purple top band is the obvious target for me. Maybe come back down to form this bull flag. This purple top band is going to be around 33,700, 600, 700. The real challenge and the real breakout would be, so I'm switching to the daily chart here. That green resistance is the last man standing as an overhead resistance with 3 touches, 1, 2, and 3. At 34,000, it would break it for good. Even below that, I think about 900, 33,900, 34,000, it would break that green resistance, and there would be nothing else on its way from the overhead. Okay, so overhead resistance, the last one. After that, I expect a new all-time high. NASDAQ had the best setups and the best bullish signals for a very long time. We had a small bull flag here. So first, let me talk about this red giant channel. That giant channel was broken to the downside right there in the second quarter or third quarter of 2022. We back tested it here, back tested it again, and back tested it again. And the purple bull flag had formed, and just recently this purple bull flag was broken, but more importantly, it cleared this wedge, that blue wedge, and it cleared a massive red resistance, which is why it is rallying like there is no tomorrow. Right, this perfect back test on this double triple support was the level where it's like 13,500. It's already 800, more than 800 points higher. So a lot of people are saying, yeah, this is overbought, how long can it go? I don't care. It is a major breakout, and the purple channel is broken, the red channel is broken back into. So there is not much to stop this one. As long as it goes, we're going to still ride it through our individual stocks like Amazon, Google, Microsoft. So Russell is of course the sick man here. It's not really rallying much. This is small caps, obviously. The black bear flag was broken during the Silicon Valley panic. It was broken to the downside. It didn't get to a new low. What happens at the moment? Okay, I'm going to talk about it a bit more clearer now. So I'm going to the long term. Let's talk about the long term first here. Okay, so that purple major channel or resistance was broken and got back tested in 2022 lows, and it rallied, came back down. I'm not going to cover these, like there was a resistance here that was back tested anyway. But what happens at the moment, I'm going to switch to the 2-hourly chart to show for the short term what is going to happen here in my view. So I'm long Russell, and the reason is so that golden bull flag was broken and back tested, and it rallied, and we bought that back test. It rallied, and we closed here at the black top band and the red resistance. So that resistance held, that double resistance held, it came down and it broke that black bear flag, this one, to the downside. And I thought, this is not good. Right now, it's turning bearish. But why I bought it is very clear. It broke back into the golden, so that golden bull flag was broken, back tested, it broke back in. But more importantly, the golden was broken back in, the black one was broken back in, and the blue channel was broken out. So that's why we bought 1766, and the target obviously is the red resistance at the 4 touch, and I think at the 4 touch it's going to be broken, and the black top band will be broken, and ultimately the 1900 is going to be the target. Silicon Valley sell-off was the only one that hasn't recovered from the Silicon Valley sell-off is the Russell, and I think it's going to recover all this sell-off. That's the minimum target, especially if that red resistance breaks. That level is 1820, and I think for next week we're going to get to that level. Yeah, we're holding long. FTSE, I'm going to show you the long-term chart. It's quite a nice long-term chart, okay? So this 2018 high, quite a few resistance levels you can see here. It was broken to get to new all-time highs at 8,000. Came down, this is the Silicon Valley panic, okay? It came down pretty hard. Obviously this support didn't hold because of, well, those were like the news action, right? So major sell-off during the panic, but then it recovered back up and it back tested it just this week again. So that back test is holding at the moment. You can see that perfect back test at, well, around 7,500, 550. That held. So I'm going to switch to the 2-hourly chart to show where we're headed now. That red resistance has to be broken for new all-time highs. Like 3 touches on that red resistance right there, 1, 2, and 3. And the blue channel is broken. So I tweeted it on the public channel. This blue sideways channel is broken to the upside. As long as it doesn't go back in, I think we're going to recover at least all these lost ground. And we're going to see at least a level to 7,700 or so. So that's another 100 points, or just less than 100. That's just less than 100 points to go. And that red resistance's break would open the way for 7,900, 8,000. Let's have a look at DAX. That green support held. Obviously that green top. So let's talk about the daily first, the long term. Right. Okay, since the break of that black resistance or blue resistance, so you can see it was a support, became a resistance after the break. So you can see back test, back test, back test, and once it was broken, obviously there was also this when we went very bullish on DAX. Okay, it's when this happened. Okay, so that resistance, once it was broken, I said at least it's going to get to that blue resistance right there, okay, that there, and then when we broke it, it's becoming this here. That's the target, and it came to that level at 16,300. It's been our target for a long time. It got there and it sold off right from there. So what do we have here now is on the 4-hourly chart, that green support is holding. That red resistance, maybe it will hold and we'll see another pullback, maybe that golden bottom band, and then after that, if it touches that blue top band for the 4th time, it may break it, and then after that, the sky is the limit really. So that blue resistance is at 16,300, 320. Once it breaks, there is not much on its way to get to 17,000. TLT is the bonds, like one of the major bonds. It's coming towards that black bottom band. So we have this black bull flag in the making. The red inside bull flag was broken to the downside, which targets 98.50. So if it gets to that black bottom band, and then we see the touch on together with the golden, of course it's only 1 or 2 days left, so I guess it's not going to happen. I thought it was going to get to that black plus golden together. So you can see that golden top band has 3 touches, bottom band, so it would have been nice to see 98.50 to touch the black and golden and then rally to 108, 109. Clearly 109 and 110, it would be a major break if it gets to 109, 110. Okay, so that's when I think bonds are going to start a major rally. This is the 10-year note, the ZN, it's inside this golden bear flag, and it's still inside the green downtrend. So this is looking still bearish, okay, right here. If this golden bear flag breaks, it may come back all the way to the red bottom band, which is a new low, obviously. And then after that, I think we may still see a very big rally to start. The level for that is 107, so 107.15 or so. If this purple bear flag breaks to the downside, or maybe it bounces, breaks out of the green and breaks it to the upside as well, that can happen too. So we'll see. Oil. We're holding long oil because of the break of the blue resistance. Very clear resistance break. We sold here a little bit and came down, and it stayed inside. I stayed above that blue resistance, that broken. Now the red top band is the minimum target at 78. So the green channel is broken, right? It's the, let's put it on the 1 hourly. Yeah, that blue, why is it not really parallel? Let's put this proper parallel, right? That one is broken and back tested, and it's now rallying. The red top band is the obvious target, hopefully. So we're holding the half long, and as long as this red channel holds, this is the internal resistance line, and the red top band is the obvious target, which may turn later on into a bear flag once it got there. Okay. And if we look at the daily chart, I'm going to show you that golden top band may turn into a major resistance together with the black. So that black resistance has been holding. This is the reversal, came down, opening wedge, broke out. So I'm hoping that it's going to get to that golden, maybe red, like really slowly get to that red plus golden plus black, and then come down one more time. We can short oil right there. This is Brent oil. Is a similar wedge breakout or opening wedge breakout. So that green bottom band touch, and I said if it touches and bounces, we're going to see it get to that green resistance, and exactly what happened. Came down, and finally we broke that green resistance. The obvious target is still that purple or the red, and ultimately maybe even 85 or so. But I don't want to really speculate that much. I will be very happy if it gets to that purple resistance, so maybe we can short it again. It's all about price action. I'm watching every single price action when I'm in a position. I can change my opinion in a minute. So it's really about, not really about projections, it's about the price action at that moment. This is natgas. Let's have a look at what is happening on that bear flag. The computer is very slow now. Let me show you this. If we make it, yeah, just a little bit. Yeah, now, all right. The golden bottom band, so the golden channel is looking like a bear flag, right? That one and that one. So if it comes to that level and breaks it to the downside, then there would be more bearish. Obviously, we may still see the previous lows of below 2. This is the July contract. Okay, so this golden support zone was broken and back tested, so it looks also bearish. Still, I mean, natgas, every spike to the upside gets sold. So I don't think natgas is out of the ditch yet. Gold, everyone's big question. So gold, I had pointed out as the major target at 2070, 65.70, which was a major double resistance. That black one, this is 2020, this is 2022, and it just hit that red plus black together, and it reversed very sharply. It cleared this red internal support, which is why we shorted at 1994, and it's coming down. It broke down this purple bear flag and even back tested it. So I'm going to switch to the 4 hourly chart. You can see it's very clear bear flag, broken, back tested, and it's probably coming down inside the green downtrend. The red bottom band may hold to cause another big rally, but there is a gap here at 1865. I'm not saying it's going to get there, but if it gets there, if it wants to get there, it would maybe bounce off the red and then break it to the downside to stay inside the green downtrend. So we'll see. But I'm staying bearish on gold. Silver, the red bull flag was broken back into, this is bad, obviously, and the green bear flag is on, and the major downtrend from the highs of 2011 is still not broken. Many people are calling like silver is now going to get to 100, 60, 50, but first we have to get out of this correction, a major correction. This is platinum. This is a weekly chart. This blue channel was broken after the COVID crash, rallied, broke out, backtest, 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 backtest. Of course, after this, hitting this, 4 more backtests. So this blue channel held its ground at the backtest. And now we have a kind of a bull flag, like a double-decker bull flag right there. So if it can break that blue top band, we're going to see a major rally to start. The minimum target would be 1600, but at the moment there is nothing suggesting that it wants to break it in the short term. I think it's coming down, and especially if that black bottom band breaks, we may still see more downside from platinum. This is copper, and it's interesting because look, there is a giant triangle happening here. That green support, one of the members showed me this green support right at 356, and it held thanks to him. And now if that red top band holds, maybe we still see a little bit more downside, but then after that, if it does break, the minimum target will be that black broken support, which is at 385 or so, 383. And then if this green resistance breaks, that is going to be a major one to target 500. And the obvious, the giant action here is this red channel. This is 2011 high. This is the highs of 21 and 22. Yeah, 3 touches on top, 2 touches on the bottom. Is it going to come all the way to the red bottom band? I doubt it. I think if it does break that triangle, it may rally to that red top band and even break it at the next touch. But that green resistance is a very critical one, and the level for that is around 400. Okay, 400, 405 or so, depending on when and if it gets there. Okay, that's all from commodities. Euro had broken this red, very large uptrend. You can see once it broke it, it came down, and it is inside this green perfect downtrend right there. So many touches on the top band, 2 touches on the bottom band. And the obvious target, even if it does break at some point, I think it may come down to that golden bottom band. If it does break that green, maybe we'll see some more upside. But then after that, I still expect it to come down to that golden bottom band ultimately. And then maybe after that, we may still see a very big rally to start. Pound sterling is slightly disappointing, and the reason is very clear to me. It had broken back into that purple. So this was from 2021, 22, 21, 22. It was broken to the downside, came down all the way to almost parity. Rallied, backtested that purple, and finally broke back in. The red bull flag was broken to the upside, backtested so many times, it rallied. Minimum target for me was the purple top band and then come down, but it didn't get there. Now it's after so many backtests on the red bull flag, it's now trying to break back into the bull flag, which is obviously quite disappointing. I thought, yeah, we're out of this large bull flag, so we should get going. So it is what it is. It's all about price action. It came down. What can I do? It just wants to come down again. If this blue support breaks, it should at least get to that purple support, which is at 121 or so. Okay. US dollar, Japanese yen. Excuse me. That green channels break, and then massive backtest. And then it rallied, though we had a beautiful bull flag here. It backtested that bull flag and rallied. This golden resistance zone, right? It held so many times. So first it was broken, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just recently it was broken and got backtested, and it held as support. So that zone was very important at 137.50. You can see I marked it so many times, even on the public channel. It rallied, backtested, and now the minimum target is the blue top band, which is very close now. If that blue channel top band holds, we see a reversal. But if it does get ignored or later on broken, I think it's going to get to 145, which is this golden resistance right there. And it's going to recover all this sell-off. So I think ultimately US dollar, Japanese yen is going to get to that 145 level to recover that sell-off right there. Okay, there are loads of liquidity gaps here. I think it's going to recover all that. And DXY, US dollar index, it was out of the purple downtrend and it broke that blue bear flag to the upside. So the obvious target is 105.50, which is the red top band, similar to Euro's golden channel. Okay, they are inversely related, obviously. Aussie dollar has, when it started a rally, I said it's going to be 68, and from 68 it cleared or broke down this green bear flag. It came down, and finally the golden bottom band was broken. So we may get a back test at around 65.80. And from there, I think it's going to come down further. So it is very, very bearish at the moment because of this golden bear flag, very large bear flag from March. You know, it's not very large, it's not huge, but it's still a bear flag that is broken to the downside. And the target would be obviously the height of it. So it would be somewhere here, maybe like 64, 63, 64, that's the target. And it would be a nice short if it does get there and reverse. Similarly, Kiwi, right here, once the blue channel was broken and the red support at the fourth touch, I said the blue channel, when it breaks, it got back tested, and when the red support breaks, it's going to sell off, and that's exactly what it did. Came to back test the golden internals, came down to bounce a little bit, and now the golden bottom band is broken, and it got back tested, perfect back test, and it came down hard one more time. I reckon this is also a bear flag, and it's the Kiwi is going to come down all the way to 59, 58 possibly. We'll see, but it looks bearish. Okay, agriculturals, coffee had broken out of the green bull flag, and it was out of the black bull flag, that little one. So 2 touches there, 2 touches. The second touch on the bottom band rallied, and it broke out of the black. And it rallied all the way to 205. Now the red support is broken, came down, and we have a gap at 171, okay, at 170 or so, which is great because the golden bottom band together with the blue, yeah, that's the level where it's going to touch. So at 171 or just below 170, right, that gap is going to get filled, and we may enter a very big long entry to target 220 really. So 170, 169, those are the critical levels for coffee to start a bullish signal, to start a buy, to start a long position. Wheat, is coming down since the red blue supports break and backtest. You can see backtested, and every single rally attempt got sold off. The red, I mean, if that golden top band holds, which is at 620, 621, if it does hold, we shall see it coming down to 570, 575, 570. Soybeans is off this gold blue support, which is not very precise, but it is what it is. The golden channel has to be broken for more rally, but the failure of this red bull flag was obviously very bearish, and it still is, and any backtest on that red should be shorted, and the level for that would be 1375 or so. Okay, cocoa looking extremely bullish to me, because this golden channel is, well, 20 years old, right? The red giant bull flag from 2011 highs is now broken. The blue bull flag was broken. The green resistance was broken. So everything is pointing out to much more higher prices for cocoa. Sugar is, so I'm going to show you, when sugar broke out of the green channel, I'm going to show you, well, excuse me, just a second, yeah. That green uptrend, once it was broken and backtested, I said the golden top band, which was a speculative resistance back then, right? The golden bottom band, the golden top band. I said 27.50 is going to be the next target, but it will become also resistance. And here we are, massive resistance at that golden top band. That's what trading channels can deliver. Now the red broken channel got backtested right there. Yeah, that red channel was broken and it got backtested, which explains why it bounced. But clearly, for a major breakout, it has to break that golden top band. Okay, very clearly. Anything beyond 27.50 is going to look extremely bullish. But if it wants to break back into the red and the blue veg that was broken to the upside, that's going to look that would look very bearish. Okay, this is cotton. Last agricultural chart. The blue bear flag is perfect. Okay, and we may get another touch on that red, which would be around 88. And if it does hold at 88, comes down to sell off, it could come all the way down to 73 or so. From 88 to 73. That would be a nice short here if it does reverse. Come down to break the bear flag and all the way to 73. It is very technical looking chart, right? And the red top band may turn into a major resistance. Okay, let's have a look at coins. The Bitcoin was out of the green. It's not the best channel, but it is what it is. So that green channel was broken. It didn't get backtested properly. I think the red channel is going to hold, and we're going to see it out of this black bull flag to rally to 32,000 or so. Ethereum is the same. That golden bottom band may hold, and the red bull flag may be broken to the upside, which would target 2600. Zcash is not really looking very good. That red downtrend is still on, and the internal resistance is there. The bear flag was broken, that green bear flag, so it's looking not very good. Dogecoin was out of the green triangle. It came for another test, so that green support is holding so far. And if you're long on Dogecoin, you should pray that green support doesn't break. If it does break, I think we're going to see it 5 cents or so. But for a rally, it has to break this blue giant bull flag. And a bull flag breakout would be around 8 cents or so, 8 or 9 cents. Shiba is coming down, so that red bull flag may be forming. The golden channel was broken. This was the back test on that red, rallied. Now, I mean, it's just not much happening really. Litecoin is inside this black bear flag potential. Okay, it's a potential bear flag if it does break 28, and then at 28 we may still see a huge bounce off the golden bottom band if it does break that black bear flag. I'm not going to cover the rest, but let's put out Ripple. I think Ripple is looking interesting because Ripple is inside this green bear flag, and it's just now out of this smaller blue bull flag, right? If it gets to that green and break it to the upside, then Ripple is going to should start a run to at least 150, so tripling from the current level. All right, guys, take care. Have a good rest of the weekend. Bye.